May, നമ്മുടെ ആദ്യത്തെ ബർത്ത്ഡേ ഒരു വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞിപ്പം കൊച്ചിയിൽ നമ്മൾ എസ്റ്റാബ്ലിഷ് ആയിട്ട്. Last year, the former President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, had come down to bless the institution. So actually it's a birthday celebrations. In the mottam staff and the families, we are celebrating the birthday. And ഒരു വർഷം ഇത്രയും പെട്ടെന്ന് പോയിന്ന് ഇപ്പം വിശ്വസിക്കാൻ പോലും വിഷമ. It happened so fast and so many things happen at the same time. We started off basically as a vision and a dream of our chairman, Dr. Azad Moopen, who had once gone to United States, to Rochester. He saw this Mayo Clinic as an example. So adhe madri oru ashutri സ്വന്തം നാട്ടിന് he wanted to establish. So that was the whole concept. So building എല്ലാം ഉണ്ടാക്കാൻ വളരെ എളുപ്പമാണ്. It's very easy building construct ചെയ്യാൻ. പക്ഷേ as a hospital, the soul of a hospital is basically the people inside the hospital. So the clinical team, doctors, nurses, the technicians, and to get everything together in such a short span, that was the most challenging part. When we reflect back on the past 12 months, many things come to my mind. One was definitely we became the first Indian hospital to get the NABH accreditation in such a short span of time, in 7 months' time. The first Indian hospital to get NABH accreditation for nursing excellence. The second Indian hospital to get its theatres Green OT certified. The largest quaternary care hospital in Kerala to get Joint Commission accreditation. So everything, all these accreditations all happened in 1 year. And then when you talk about the teams, the last team which we have assembled was our liver transplant, multi-organ transplant program. In almost 2 months, we have done 17 liver transplants, which by any standards, even when you look at large programs within India, that's a phenomenal number to have achieved in such a short span of time. Same thing, the renal program, we would have done more than 60 transplants in the past 12 months' time. So the various medical teams have already settled down, including one of our strongest teams is our cardiac program, adult as well as the pediatric cardiac program. So the purpose why we are meeting here today is not just Aster Medcity, I would say, is just a small part of a larger effort to help the needy. We have our foundation, the Dr. Moopen's foundation and the Aster Foundation. We have been doing a large amount of work towards charity. So when you talk about pediatric cardiac surgery alone, in the past few years we would have done more than 100 pediatric cardiac surgeries already. And most of these children were under the expert hands of my colleague Dr. Sajan Koshy, who in his resume, when you look at, he would have done easily more than 10,000 pediatric cardiac surgeries to date. So that hand skills and expertise is what makes that magic possible of saving young lives. We are also lucky to have, I would say I'm extremely lucky and privileged to be sitting next to Dr. Lance. He has got a very remarkable pedigree, and obviously when you look at him, he's an American who decided to adopt Philippines as his home. So he lives in Philippines and been doing tremendous amount of work in Philippines for the needy through various activities. And it's also divine destiny that he happened to meet our company's president of Philippines and the country manager, Ms. Joyce, my colleague there. And in one such event, they happened to exchange notes and said that why don't we collaborate together, and where his passion for charity and our ability and our foundation's work can join together and help the needy. So the baby whom we have today, Master Joneil, is an example of collaborative benevolence. You have a charitable individual who is doing wonderful work there, and our own colleague Joyce, her efforts in Philippines. So it's a marriage of sorts between the two. Philippines, just a quick brief description before I hand over the podium to the experts. It's a wonderful, beautiful country, almost similar to Kerala. My colleague was telling me that if you decide to go to Manila or to Philippines, you will feel like you're in Kerala, because they felt that coming to Kochi was like, this looks like Philippines itself. It's located in the Western Pacific Ocean, more than 7,600 islands. with the capital city, Manila. From a population perspective, it's about 400 million plus, vastly developing country, highly educated workforce, and we have a lot to learn from Philippines, and there is a great opportunity for South-South collaboration. One of the most famous Filipinos from an Indian perspective is Sajan Koshy. A lot of our colleagues in different fields of life have been awarded the Sajan Koshy awards over the past few decades. The green revolution, when we talk about the rice, the hybrid rice, so much of collaboration between Indian agricultural scientists as well as the Filipino agricultural scientists to produce this thing. In healthcare, I think we have a lot to collaborate and learn from each other. We both are developing countries, and sharing of expertise is always beneficial. The advantage which a state like Kerala offers is that because of our literacy levels, we can provide world-class care at rock bottom prices, highly cost-effective prices. We are the only state in India with 3 international airports and 1 more airport coming up in Kannur. No other Indian state can offer so much of gateways and access. So Philippines is rather close to us from a geographical perspective. Maybe 1 stopover flight from Singapore or Kuala Lumpur to come to Kochi. So that's a big advantage. So it opens up new frontiers for collaboration. To explain more details about the baby master Joneil surgery, I would like to invite Dr. Sajan Koshy, who is the senior consultant for our Paediatric Cardiac Surgery program.
Thank you, Dr. Harish. Dr. Harish പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ നമ്മൾ ഫിലിപ്പൈൻസുമായിട്ട് നമ്മൾ കുറക്കാലത്തെ ഒരു അസോസിയേഷനുണ്ട്. ഇതാദ്യമായിട്ടല്ല നമ്മൾ ഫിലിപ്പൈൻസിൽ നിന്നുള്ള ഒരു കുട്ടിയെ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. നിങ്ങൾ തന്നെ ഓർക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും, ഒരു ഏകദേശം 1.5 വർഷം മുമ്പ് ഫിലിപ്പൈൻസ് നമ്മൾ ഇതുപോലെ ഒരു കുട്ടിയെ സ്പോൺസർ ചെയ്തിട്ട് കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് ഓപ്പറേഷൻ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഒരുപാട് ചാരിറ്റി പ്രോഗ്രാംസ് നമ്മൾ അവിടെ സ്പോൺസർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇവിടുന്ന് പേഷ്യൻസിനെ ഇവിടെ വന്ന് ഓപ്പറേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് കൂടാതെ ഈ മൂപ്പൻസ് ഫൗണ്ടേഷൻ ഫിനാൻഷ്യൽ ഹെൽപ്പ് അവിടെ കൊടുത്തിട്ട് ട്രീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന കുറേ കേസ്, ഏകദേശം 27ാമത്തെ കുട്ടിയാണിത് അങ്ങനെ നോക്കുമ്പോൾ. പക്ഷെ ഇവിടെ വന്നത് 2ാമത്തേതാണെങ്കിലും നമ്മൾ അവിടെ വേറെ 25 കുട്ടികളെ സ്പോൺസർ ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട് ഈ ഡോക്ടർ മൂപ്പൻസ് ഫൗണ്ടേഷൻ. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു കുറേ കാലത്തെ ഒരു അസോസിയേഷനാണ് ഇത്. ഈ കുട്ടിയെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ജുനൈൽ 5 വയസ്സുള്ളൊരു കുട്ടിയാണ്. അയാൾക്കൊരു ജന്മനായുള്ള ഹൃദ്രോഗമുണ്ട്, കൺജനിറ്റൽ ഹാർട്ട് ഡിസീസ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് കാരണം കുട്ടിയുടെ വളർച്ച മുരടിച്ചിരിക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. വളരെ ചെറുപ്പത്തിൽ തന്നെ അസുഖം കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചതാണ്, പക്ഷേ അവിടെ ഓപ്പറേഷനുള്ള സൗകര്യങ്ങൾ ഒത്തുവന്നില്ല എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. സാമ്പത്തികമായിട്ടും പിന്നെ ഫെസിലിറ്റി വെച്ചുമൊക്കെ അവർക്ക് കുറച്ച് ലിമിറ്റേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് അവിടെ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ നടന്നില്ല. ഞങ്ങൾ സാധാരണ ഈ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഏകദേശം 1 വയസ്സിലാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിപ്പോൾ കുട്ടിക്ക് 5 വയസ്സായപ്പോൾ കുറച്ച് പഴകി എന്ന് പറയാം. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ദുരിതം കുട്ടി അനുഭവിക്കുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആ കുട്ടിയുടെ അമ്മ പറയും അത് സ്കൂളിൽ പോകാൻ പ്രയാസം, അത് കുറച്ചൊരു 10 അടി നടക്കുമ്പോഴത്തേക്കും ക്ഷീണിച്ചു പോകും, അപ്പോൾ പിന്നെ കുത്തിയിരിക്കും, പിന്നെ ഒരു അരമണിക്കൂർ കഴിഞ്ഞ് എഴുന്നേറ്റ് നടക്കാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ, ശരീരത്തിൽ ഓക്സിജൻ്റെ അളവ് കുറയുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് വരുന്നതാണ്. അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ കഷ്ടപ്പെട്ടിരിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് നമ്മുടെ ടീം ജോയ്സൊക്കെ ഈ കുട്ടിയെ ഐഡൻറ്റിഫൈ ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് നമ്മുടെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ഷെയർ ചെയ്ത്, ആൻഡ് ഐ സോ ദ എക്കോ റിപ്പോർട്ട് ആൻഡ് ഓൾ ദാറ്റ് 3 months ago, and I said we can do it here. പിന്നെ വിസയൊക്കെ പ്രോസസ്സ് ചെയ്യാനൊക്കെ കുറച്ച് സമയമെടുത്തു, പക്ഷേ അതും നമ്മുടെ എംബസിയൊക്കെ വളരെ ഫാസ്റ്റ് ട്രാക്ക് ചെയ്തിട്ട് വിസയൊക്കെ പെട്ടെന്ന് അനുവദിച്ച് തന്നിട്ടുണ്ട്. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും നമുക്കിത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റിയത്. ഓപ്പറേഷന് ശേഷം ഓപ്പറേഷന് ഞങ്ങളുടെ ടീമിൽ ഞാൻ മാത്രമല്ല, ഞങ്ങളൊരു 10 പേരെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ട് ഇതിൻ്റെ ഓപ്പറേഷൻ്റെ പുറകിൽ കഠിനാധ്വാനം ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളവർ. അവരുടെ മറ്റ് ജോലി തിരക്കുകൾ കാരണം അവരിങ്ങോട്ട് വന്നിട്ടില്ല എന്നുള്ളതേ ഉള്ളൂ. അപ്പോൾ ഒരു 3-4 ദിവസം കൊണ്ട് തന്നെ കുട്ടി പെട്ടെന്ന് റിക്കവർ ചെയ്തു. ഈസ് അബ്സല്യൂട്ട്ലി ഫൈൻ. ഒരു തിങ്കളാഴ്ച തിരിച്ചു പോകാനിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ഡോക്ടർ ലാൻസ് ഒരു റോട്ടേറിയനാണ്. റോട്ടറിയുമായിട്ട് ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടും അല്ലാതെയും ഒരുപാട് ഫിലന്ത്രോപ്പിക് ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസ് മനലയിൽ ചെയ്യുന്ന ആളാണ്.
Thank you, Dr. Koshy and Dr. Pillai, and thank you for coming to hear this story. I have been asked to share with you my experiences with the foundation, and so leading into that, I'll tell you how I came to know about this foundation. As Dr. Koshy mentioned, I am a Rotarian. I'm a member and very active in the Rotary Club of Manila, which is the first Rotary Club in all of Asia. We're approaching 100 years anniversary. Through that club, one of my friends in the club, a colleague in the club, is an Indian, Mr. Johnny Chotrani, and he invited me to serve on the board of directors of the Philippine-India Business Council, representing the education sector. I'm a retired university president, and I'm very happy to be active in Rotary, where I do write a number of grants, primarily in sanitation and livelihood efforts, trying to improve the conditions of extreme poverty that exist in the Philippines, literacy projects and many different kinds of projects to help the extremely poor people. So I was attending a special event from Philippine-India Business Council, and we had many businesses from India that are doing business in the Philippines and that want to export their products to the Philippines or want to import products from the Philippines to India. And many prominent Indian firms, ranging from giants like Tata down to small companies and that you may not know. One of the firms that was there, I had the opportunity and was introduced to Mrs. Joyce Sacao-Alumno, who already has been mentioned to be the president and country manager for Aster Healthcare Philippines. And as I looked at her business card, I noticed down in the right-hand corner there is the logo that we see here, Save the Little Hearts Foundation. And I had been searching for about 3 months at that time to find a solution to the challenge of this little boy that you now see here well, due to the wonderful surgery and management of Dr. Koshy and his team here at Aster. And as I looked at this, and she explained that Dr. Moopen had devoted 20% of his personal wealth to support his foundations, his charitable work, and that because he was so grateful for the help of so many Filipino professionals and support staff working in operations of Aster, particularly in Dubai and operations in the Middle East, that he saw an opportunity to give back to the Philippines and to help solve problems there that are similar to so many developing countries. And so he determined to have congenital heart defects. And that, since I knew this case, this boy is actually the nephew of my maid, one of my helpers in my home. And so she had asked me for help, and I had explored every avenue imaginable. One of my colleagues in Rotary Manila is the founding medical director of the Philippine Heart Center. We brought the boy to the Philippines. He was evaluated, went through a lengthy process to try to qualify him for the public health care system there. And the answer was, yes, we can help them. Yes, we can do the surgery in the Philippines, but there is a waiting list of about 3 to 4 years. And frankly, the boy may not survive that period of time because his problems had been increasing in severity. So when I found this foundation, Joyce and I talked. She had her team evaluate the situation, including the cardiac team here in MedCity. And then she talked to Dr. Moopen about it. And he said, yes, let's help this boy. And we're so grateful. When I first saw that, Save the Little Hearts, and she's explaining, it gave me chills, goosebumps, because I thought, God has put us together. He has brought this together to solve the problems for this poor boy. And so I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to help this family, and in really just a small way. The credit really goes to Dr. Moopen's generosity and vision to help the truly poor with insurmountable catastrophic medical problems in a number of areas. So I'm very grateful to him. I'm very grateful. This place really is world class. You know, to achieve I've been on the board of directors of a couple of hospitals before, and have done a lot of accreditation work. And I find, as I was doing my research about this place to say, is this something that I can endorse? Is this something that I can do? And I looked and I read more and I talked to people, and my basic response was, wow, this is awesome. They have assembled a world-class facility with state-of-the-art equipment and facilities, and assembled a team that I suspect is without parallel, certainly within the state and perhaps within India. We've had a great experience here, and I want to just say thank you, Dr. Koshy, and thanks and special recognition to Dr. Pillai for putting together a team that has given world-class customer service across the board. And of course, I'm very grateful to Joyce and her work. And I promise you that we're going to work together with Rotary. We're going to set up a special operation, and we're going to help more and more people to the best of our ability. Thank you.
I would like to now invite Mrs. Raquel, the mother of our baby Joneil, to share her experiences in your stay at Aster.
I just want to say thank you for coming, and on behalf of my family, I just want to say thank you very much to Dr. Moopen and his foundation, Save the Little Heart, for giving this opportunity, especially for saving the life of my son. I really thank God that he used this foundation and Dr. Moopen to save the life of my son, and as a blessing for our family. Like us, a poor family, we cannot afford the surgery of my son. But I thank God that I meet these people, Ma'am Joyce and Dr. Lance Master, and the boss of my sister-in-law. They really help us, especially my son. And I thank also Dr. Koshy and his team for a job well done at the surgery of my son. I now see my son very, very good, and he can do now what he can't never before because of his condition. And I really thank this hospital and all the medical health care and all the staff, because they care of us, and they treated us very well, especially my son at the hospital. They really asked what we need. They really care for us, and I'm so thankful for this opportunity. Really, really thankful. I really thank God, and more power and more blessing to save more life. They really saved the life of my son Joneil. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now I would request my colleague Joyce, who's our company president for Philippines, to share how this entire thing has come about, her vision for Aster in Philippines, and how can we bring Philippines and India much closer to each other. Joyce.
Magandang hapon po. That's Dr. Tagalog for good afternoon to all of you, and thank you very much. It's a pleasure that I am here for the very first time in Kerala. But what's surprising was that the moment I stepped into the airport, I felt so much at home. It's like I never left the Philippines, exactly what Dr. Harish here was saying. The environment, the coconut trees, the stores, the roads, the MRT, everything was like I never left home. But actually, I've traveled 14 hours to be here, connecting via Dubai, and then another 3 hours to Kerala. But I think coming all the way here was life-changing for me. And for the last 3 years, not many people know that Dr. Moopen, DM Healthcare, has actually started something great in the Philippines, not actually to set up a business, but actually to extend his help for the Filipino people. Like what Dr. Harish said, Philippines is a developing country. We have a lot of struggles. We have 100 million population. It's a big population, but then in the last couple of years, we have seen some growth and some possible potential collaboration with India government. And we have seen that through medical tourism. But I never thought that medical tourism would actually come in the form of charity. And before we were looking at the economics of it, By the way, I am also NABH Philippine representative. So I've been talking about how good and how excellent the facilities, the healthcare facilities in India are. Maybe some of you will not have an appreciation of what you are doing here in India, but I can tell you the healthcare industry in India is doing a great job, and your government officials are in fact doing a great job in upgrading the quality of your healthcare industry. And so we've seen some collaboration there. But the chairman said, Joyce, let's not talk about business. We want to give back. Personally, I want to give back to the Filipino people because about a third of the staff in the Aster healthcare network, mainly in the Gulf region in UAE, are Filipinos. So he said, I want to give back. And he said, I said, Chairman, the Philippines has a lot of problems. You know, where do you start? And then he said, let's start one child at a time. And that's through the Save the Little Hearts program. And I remember what Mother Teresa said in one of her quotes. We admire Mother Teresa very much, being a Catholic, we're predominantly Catholic in the Philippines. And she said, never worry about numbers. Help one person at a time. And always start with the person nearest to you. And I think I kept thinking about that, and I said, yeah, we may not be able to change the world, but we can do it one child at a time. And so for the last 3 years, we've been giving surgeries for already 26 children. But at the time, Chairman just kept on supporting them, doing them in our hospitals in the Philippines. Unfortunately, there's already a long queue of patients. And we said maybe we can consider bringing them to India. And we got a support of the ambassador. And so this child here beside me is the first patient whom we have traveled all the way from the Philippines for the surgery. And I can tell you, the team of doctors of Aster Medcity, Dr. Harish Pillai and Dr. Sajan Koshy, they did a very good job. For me to be seeing this child 4 days after the surgery is just amazing. Something that I think I've never seen before. For the last, for the 26 patients that we have done, I think you're really doing a great job. Thank you very much. And just to give you a background in the Philippines, for every 1,000 live births, about 5 children are actually diagnosed with congenital heart defects. And so reports say that for every 9 minutes, a child less than 15 years old and below dies of congenital heart defects. So what are the reasons to that? Number one could be a lack of the facilities, the lack of medical intervention, and late detection. So that's the challenge because we are 7,107 islands. So we're scattered all over. And the sad part there is that our hospitals are mainly only in Manila, like your New Delhi. So they have to travel all the way to Manila just to get all those diagnoses. But thanks to Chairman, and thanks again to the team that we were able to fly Joneil in less than a month. I think I'd say even 3 weeks. That was the fastest that we have done. In less than 3 weeks, in less than a month, we were able to save a child. And actually, I have here now several more of patients who have come to us asking for help. And we are looking forward, and we are hoping really that we can save more and probably, hopefully, bring more children to this part of the world and be able to save more lives. Who knows? This child might be the next president of the Philippines. We don't know. But what we're trying to do here is maybe give them a future and help them achieve their dreams. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joyce. We, as a state, Kerala, we definitely have an opportunity. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് എല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം, നമ്മളൊരു പുതിയ ഒരു സൊസൈറ്റി തുടങ്ങിയിട്ടുണ്ട്, ദ കേരള മെഡിക്കൽ വാല്യൂ ട്രാവൽ സൊസൈറ്റി. ആ സൊസൈറ്റിയിൽ കേരളത്തിലുള്ള എല്ലാ NABH അക്രഡിറ്റഡ് ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽസ് മെമ്പേഴ്സാണ്. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ ഒരു വൺ ഓഫ് ദ വിഷൻസ് ഇസ് ഈ സൊസൈറ്റിയിലെ എല്ലാ ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽസും നമ്മൾ ചെയ്ത പോലെ ഇഫ് ക്യാൻ അലൊക്കേറ്റ് സം ഫണ്ട്സ് ഫോർ ചാരിറ്റി, there's a huge opportunity നമ്മുടെ സംസ്ഥാനത്തിന് വേണ്ടി. More and more hospitals can do much more work for the needy. So that is something which we would like to appreciate. I also would like to thank the Indian ambassador to Philippines, because what Joyce was sharing today morning was the M visa, which was actually issued was almost on a 24-hour basis, which is something like music to my ears to hear. The difficulty which they had was because the baby did not have a passport. So the Filipino government process to issue a Filipino passport took some time. But the Indian embassy issued the M visa in record time, which is what our prayers have been. We've been always talking to the government of India to make the M visa as short as possible. Don't make people wait. So that is something wonderful to hear. I would also now request my colleague Joyce to present a memento to our Chief Pediatric Cardiac Surgeon, Dr. Sajan Koshy.
In appreciation of the Filipino people, in fact, the Philippine jeepney is a representation, it's the most popular form of transportation in the Philippines. And as a symbol of our appreciation, Filipino people, especially the Save the Little Hearts program, I'd like to call Dr. Koshy. I believe it's a team effort. It's a collaboration of about 10 doctors and many medical staff. And so Dr. Koshy, okay, so on behalf of the Philippines and Save the Little Hearts program, thank you very much.
Thumbs up, please. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, please. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Like Joyce said, he could be the next president of Philippines.
You don't know.
Never know.
Thumbs up, please. Two thumbs. Two thumbs.
Open mouth, big smile.
We are also privileged to have one of the senior most journalists from Philippines, Christina. She is here in our midst. So all of you fellow journalists, please feel free to interact with Christina. I told her that she's a big fan of India, because in her education part she reads a lot about her history. So she's asked me about Rajasthan, like how to go to Rajasthan. So I was telling her about Kerala. At least you need 10 days to see the whole of Kerala. So Joyce, hope this is the beginning of a new love affair with Kerala.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. Please do join us for lunch. Thank you.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Fireworks is in.